He is, by almost every historian's account, the closest thing the ancient world produced to a perfect ruler. Disciplined, humble, endlessly self-reflective, his name was Marcus Aurelius. And this is the story of how the wisest man in Rome raised the son who would destroy almost everything he built. Marcus ruled during the Pax Romana, nearly 2 centuries of relative stability. Privately, he kept a personal journal, notes to himself not meant for publication, reminders to stay disciplined, to control his anger, to remember his own mortality. That journal survived. Today we call it Meditations. This was a man who actually tried to live what he believed. This was Commodus, Marcus Aurelius' own son, born into the greatest legacy Rome had to offer. Almost from the beginning, something was off. Commodus reportedly found governing dull. He showed little interest in the discipline his father valued. Marcus, by all accounts, tried. He brought Commodus into his world early. There were even whispered rumors, probably unfounded, that surely no son of Marcus could turn out this differently by chance. And here's the first gut punch. Marcus knew. He wasn't blind to it. Cassius Dio wrote plainly that after raising his son the best way possible, Marcus was vastly disappointed in him. This wasn't a father who never noticed the warning signs. This was a father who noticed and still had to decide what to do next. For a while, though, it didn't matter. Marcus was alive. Marcus was in control. Whatever flaws his son had, they were contained. A future problem, not a present crisis. Rome hummed along under one of its most competent rulers. The empire's machinery of stability held everything steady. Whatever flaws his son had, they remained a distant concern, contained for now by Marcus's steady hand. Then in 180 AD, Marcus Aurelius died. And in that instant, everything Marcus had spent his life stabilizing was handed directly to an 18-year-old who had shown every sign of being unfit to receive it. All power passed to him almost overnight, and something in him shifted. The boy who once seemed merely bored by responsibility now held all of it. And for the first time, no one stood above him to say no. The city could feel something changing, even if it couldn't yet say what. Commodus didn't just watch from the safety of the imperial box. He entered the arena himself, a spectacle so beneath the dignity of the office that senators were reportedly horrified. Some accounts suggest his opponents were given weakened weapons. Either way, the symbolism was devastating. The Emperor of Rome reduced to performing as entertainment. Some accounts suggest his opponents were given weakened weapons. Either way, the symbolism was devastating. Behind the spectacle, the actual machinery of government was falling apart. Commodus drained the imperial treasury, financing his extravagances. He neglected the military discipline his father had spent years maintaining. He ruled increasingly through fear, favoritism, and paranoid purges, including, according to some accounts, members of his own family. In barely over a decade, the machinery of the Pax Romana began visibly grinding toward collapse. Cassius Dio, watching this unfold, wrote one of the most devastating lines in Roman historiography. He said Roman history now descended from a kingdom of gold to one of iron and rust. Let that sit for a second. One generation, one succession decision, and an empire's entire trajectory bent from its peak toward its decline. Now here's where the story gets genuinely uncomfortable, because it refuses to give you an easy villain to blame it all on. Marcus wasn't forced into naming Commodus his heir by some outside power. He made an active choice. To understand why this happened, we have to go back to the choice Marcus made years before any of this. And historians still argue fiercely about why. Some point to raw political necessity. After generations of adoptive succession bypassing his own son risked civil war. Others suggest Marcus genuinely believed duty and character could still be taught, that abandoning his own son would itself be a kind of moral failure. There's even a theory that Marcus's own declining health clouded his judgment at exactly the moment it mattered most. Whatever the real reason, here's the uncomfortable truth. The same philosophy that made Marcus one of history's most admired rulers may be precisely what trapped him into this outcome. A lesser man might have simply eliminated the problem. Marcus, committed to duty, stayed the course, and it cost the empire dearly. Commodus's story didn't end quietly either. After years of erratic, paranoid rule, his own inner circle decided he had become too dangerous to survive. His mistress first attempted to poison him. When that failed, his own advisors hired a professional wrestler. Commodus, the self-declared reincarnation of Hercules, was strangled to death in the water by hired muscle from his own household. This is where the story stops being just ancient trivia and starts being something worth sitting with personally. Marcus spent his life practicing the belief that character could be built through discipline and reflection. And then he ran directly into the one place that philosophy hit its limit: another human being's free will. You can be disciplined, you can be wise, and you can still watch someone you're responsible for choose a completely different path and be powerless to stop it. This channel exists for exactly this kind of history. If that's what you want more of, subscribe.